Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to Project Beige Girl Day 3. A few bits and pieces to do today. We've got 45 minutes of video for you. The wheels, the wheel trims that is, and the bumper, and a couple of other bits and pieces thrown in for good measure. So sit back, once again grab yet another beer and enjoy. Here we go. Right, part of doing this was of course having to get the front arm, the lower arm off. I had to take off the water bottle, so I'm just going to put that back on now. As you know, that's just held on with two 10mm bolts. So I'll get those on. One there. One in here somewhere. Get to it. There it is. Oops. Oh, okay. Try again. Need a magnetic bit. Oh, crying out loud. I really need a magnetic one. Let's put it in by finger. That's it. Once you get it started off. Says, get in there. It's always the awkward one that you can't get in. That's it. Right, that's that in. And I've got to put the pump back. And you can top that up with fluid. Push that home. Run the pipes up. That's it. As long as that's pushed in properly, it won't leak. There is a rubber washer on there, which if you don't put in, the water just pours out again. Let's get some fluid and fill it up. Good. Make sure it doesn't leak out. Oh, it is leaking out. It's obviously not pushed home. Oh, it wasn't in properly at all. Why is it still leaking? Damn. Put something underneath. By the time I found something to put underneath. Late now. Why is that leaking? Oh, where's it gone? It was there a minute ago. That's weird. That's very weird. That washer was there. When I picked it up off the floor, the washer was there and now it's disappeared. How weird is that? Where the hell's that gone? Right, I need to find that. Put you on pause. So here we go. Headlight being repaired. Use the repair lugs, as you can see. Hopefully you can see. You've got screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there, and a screw there, and a screw there. You have to grind off quite a lot of what was already there to be able to get those to fit. But at 10 quid to reuse the same headlight that came out of the car, it's the best thing by far to do. So let's go out there and put this back on the car. Okay. Let's get the light back on with the bolts, might help. And a 10mm spanner. I'll use this thing. Right. So even though we were only putting this in temporarily, because I just realised the broken lug is still in there. We'll get rid of that bit. Okay, so obviously this wing has still got to come off, so I'm not going to go mad with this. I'm just going to put it on loosely for the time being. So we put, I may not even put in the bottom bolt in. I might as well, I suppose. Get up a little bit. So we put that one in, and we put the top one in. Find the bolts. What have I done with the bolts? There we go, there's one. I've got loads of these bolts spare anyway, knocking around, so I just want to put it in and just keep the water off it more than anything. There you go. I'm not going to bother doing the bottom one up, because obviously that's only a temporary. That wing on, but we'll connect it up. Brown one. There we go. That should give us indicators. Yeah. I'll test the lights a bit later. Right, that's that done. That's another job done. What else we got to do? So I can't do the water bottle because I've lost the washer. I cannot find it anywhere. When I picked up that water bottle, it had a washer on it. I've put it in the pump and the washer seems to have disappeared. It's bizarre, absolutely bizarre. I can't think where the hell it's gone. When I picked it up, I saw it was on there, and it's somewhere between me picking it up just inside the garage, just down here behind this wheel. It's disappeared. For one, I don't know how it would have even fallen off, especially without me seeing it, and it's just disappeared. So that's leaking, so I'm going to have to try and get hold of a washer from somewhere, which is really annoying. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go at painting these wheel trims. Right, so with these, as you can see, these are filthy dirty. So the silver bit comes off. It's got tabs on it. So we look at the underside of that one. So you've got tabs on there that you prise out, presumably prise it out with a screwdriver and they'll come out. So rather than masking those off, I'm assuming those bits as well, this bit, the black bit, that comes off like a normal one does, because they look like normal ones. So they obviously need a good clean up, and I'm going to clean this and give these a spray. So I've got the paint over there. I've got the plastic primer, white plastic primer. I've got the super gloss white, and I've got the clear lacquer. So we're going to do this, give them a good clean up first. I'm going to do these two first. The other two are okay, but I'm going to see how they match. If they match, which they probably won't, I won't bother doing the other two. If they don't match, which is what I'm expecting, then I'll spray the other two first as well. But let's get these ones cleaned up first and get them ready for primer. Right, let's give these a wash. So we'll do this one first. So let's use the auto brush. I will use panel wipe on these as well, and of course I've got to rub them down as well of the edges, well, not just on the edges where the damage is, obviously I'll rub them down as much as I can there to try and flatten out the damage, but also to obviously just flatten it off. What I've also got is I've got this from Wish. I don't know how good it's going to be. Dip it in the water. Oh, sprays it everywhere. It's quite an effortless way of cleaning in here though. It's basically just a sponge cone. It's quite good though, that's the trick. Oh, I'll have to try this on the alloys. It does squirt everywhere, but it certainly works. It's making my trousers a bit wet, but so that's quite good. Pleased with that. So that's sort of clean enough. Then what I'll do is I'll rub this down, and then we'll clean it off again. Should clean it off on the back as well, really, but then we'll give it a good clean off again. Panel wipe, get it scrupulously clean, scrupulously dry, and then we'll get the old paint on it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off. I'm not sure how it comes off, so let's grab a screwdriver. Because the other one was already off. The one that is off is the one that was on the damaged wheel of the car. So we've got to figure out how this actually comes off without breaking it. So let's have a look. Not quite sure, to be honest. Let's have a look, compare it on this one. Oh, I see. So those tabs, I was looking at those tabs, but those tabs are actually part of this bit. So it's the silver piece that needs to somehow push through. Cool, blimey. It's a bit stiff. I wonder if I can get a screwdriver under there. I don't want to damage it. Oh, here we go. Probably not the best way. Oh, I think they're actually stuck on as well. I think I can, yeah, they are. I can feel some glue. There we go. Yeah, they've just got some little bits of like number plate glue, number plate, you know, sticky pads. So that's all right. I can put those back on afterwards. So we put those to one side safely, and then we'll give this one a clean up. Right, I'm going to use various papers here. We'll start off with a coarse 180 on the edges, and just get it as flat as I can. I'm not doing any filling or anything like that. I just want to try and get the cracks as flat as possible. I'm lucky that they're not broken, I suppose. But if I can flatten down the gouges enough so they don't show too much, so you can still feel them. I'm not messing around with plastic filler or anything like that. forgot to put it on record when I gave it a first coat of top coat, but it's quite good. I mean, obviously it's still wet at the moment, but I'm quite pleased with it so far. I don't know how glossy it's going to dry. Obviously I'm going to probably put 3 coats on, I think 3 very light coats. You can still see some of the scratches around the side, but they're very, very inconspicuous now. This one is better than that one, I think, but we'll let it dry for 5 or 10 minutes and then we'll give it another coat, and we'll come back, I think, once we've done 3 coats, let those dry for a while, and then I think we'll put someone said to me you shouldn't let the top coat dry completely. You should leave it, it's a little bit tacky, before you put on the lacquer, because the lacquer needs something to stick to. So before, when I did those wheels before, I let it dry overnight before I lacquered them. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to leave the paint. The paint takes like 24 hours to dry properly, but I'm going to leave it maybe an hour before I do that final couple of coats of lacquer, and see how it goes. And I don't suppose for a minute it's going to match the back ones, so I'll probably be doing the other 2 as well, but so far so good. Okay, let's go for another coat. So this will be coat number 2. Right, now giving it 3 coats. So for the 3rd coat, what I did is I just went round the actual bit that's going to show, plus overlapped it a little bit into the centre bit, because obviously it doesn't need to be super duper in the middle, because that's going to be covered up by these. I've given these a clean, they just need a polish up. That one, I think that one, the silver's come off of that one, so I might replace that one. That one's fine, but it's come off of that one, so I probably will replace that. There's the other one. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. You can just about see a couple of the scratches or the gouges that were in it that I rubbed down, but most of them are gone, completely gone. So now that's had several coats, or 3 coats, I'm going to leave that for about an hour, and then I am going to put the clear coat on, the lacquer on. Do a couple of coats of that tonight, and then I might do another coat tomorrow, or I might just do 3 coats of it today, see how I feel. Yeah, I'm pleased with that so far. Once it's all dried tomorrow, I shall hold it up against the ones that are on the car and see how much they differ. I'm pretty certain it's going to differ. I'm not even going to bother taking them off and having a look, because I think it's more of a creamy white that's on the car. It's not cream, because I know they do come in cream colour as well. They're not cream, they are white, but I think it's more of a creamy white. So one other thing to tell you about, I looked back at the video that is a few minutes ago, where I was putting on the water bottle, the squirter bottle, whatever you like to call it, the washer fluid bottle, and I knew that washer was there, so I watched it and zoomed in, and I came to the conclusion, hang on, that still seems to be dripping here for some reason. I came to the conclusion that the washer bottle, the what do you call it, I think that's dripping down from where I filled it. I don't think it's dripping from the bottom. I'll just put that underneath. I think that's where I spilled it when I was filling it. But yeah, no, I came to the conclusion that the washer, because I saw that the washer was there when I zoomed in, when I put the pump on, and when I took the pump off, it wasn't there. So I came to the conclusion it had pushed inside. So I took it off again, emptied it out, and there it was inside. So yeah, I think, unless this has got a split in it caused in the accident, or has it just stopped dripping? No, I've got a feeling it was where I'd spilt some down the side where it overflowed when I was filling it up, so hopefully that will stop dripping now. Seems to have. I have got a spare one of these if it was split, but no, I think it's fine. Phew, fingers crossed. Anyway, so that's it for today. So we'll be back tomorrow and we'll compare these wheel trims. So as you saw yesterday, we got it running and driving, although we haven't driven it far, only up the end of the drive and backwards, but or rather forwards. But yeah, running and driving now. So yesterday afternoon I attacked the wheel trims. I've started painting those. I'm just going to take one of the old wheel trims off and just compare the colour, just to see what it's like. I know they're not going to match, but I'm just going to give it a go anyway. Right, so here's the new, here's the old one, or the new one, I should say, the one that's painted. It's looking rather nice. As you can see, a completely different colour. So these are a creamier white. Bearing in mind this one's probably dirty as well, but they are a completely different colour. But they're going to look $1 million compared to what they're like. I mean, this is one of the better ones off of the rear, which is still quite scratched. So this was the other one I painted yesterday. So what I'm going to do, so you can still see some marks at the top of there, but it's not too bad. It's much better than it was. So I'm going to get the silver trims back on, and then I'm going to get them on the car and have a look, see how it looks. So I'm just putting some of this tape on. This is the strong number plate tape. So I'm just going to put a few lengths of this around the edge, like the original one, and hopefully it'll be enough to hold them on. I guess they're sort of done just as belt and braces really, because they are clipped on, but of course when you're travelling at speed you don't want the things flying off. So I'm just going to put 4 bits on like they were on the original. So these are actually bigger than the original stuff, and these are the strong, good quality number plate sticky pads. They're just on a reel, but it's quite sticky. So we'll take the backing off of those. Try to get his fingernail underneath. They're quite difficult to get the backing off of these, he says. I might have to speed this video up just to get past this bit. Oh, come on. Always have trouble getting the backing off. I'll come back once I've got the backing. Right, eventually got all those pads off. Now let's grab one of these. I can clean them up afterwards. I've cleaned them up a little bit, but I suppose I need to get off the old pads as well, don't I really? Give it half a chance of sticking. Just pull those off. So I don't suppose it matters which way they go. So place it into position. Or does it matter? No, I don't think it does matter. It goes anywhere. So I don't want it to stick down and then that's it. Getting my hands filthy dirty with the back of these wheel trims. That's not on very well. That's not going on very well. I don't know if I've got it in the wrong position. Shit. Bollocks. Ugh. This stuff is so bloody sticky. Right, let's try that again. I think maybe there are specific places that this needs to go in. Doesn't look like there is. Because it's equal bits all the way around. No, it doesn't want to go in. Why is it not going in? Why is it not going in? I'm getting dirty fingerprints all over my new paintwork. No, it's not going in. I don't know why. Put this bloody thing in. Wider bits. No, it doesn't make any difference. It's the same all the way around. Why is it not going on? Let's try the other one. I don't know why this isn't going in. Probably doesn't help doing it on top of this box either. Let's get that down there. Let's put some sticky pads on. We'll come back. That was a real job and a half, that was. I really couldn't get that on. That was a pain in the arse. I've got all my dirty fingerprints all over the wheel trim. So I think it was a matter of lining it up properly, I think. Still not convinced it's on properly. But it seems to be sitting okay. And it has got the glue tabs on, so I need to clean that up now. Just use the old elbow grease, a bit of tissue paper. I'm gonna get me dirty fingerprints on it again when I put it on the car anyway, so I won't go mad. So I think what we'll do is I'll get it on the car and then we'll give it a clean. So I'm going to put it on the back because the other one, good one, I took off the back. Excuse the camera, I'm just taking you with me. Okay. So there we go. That's not bad, is it? You know what, that looks absolutely banging, to coin a phrase. Let's just get a close-up of it. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's give it a clean up, and then we'll do the other one and we'll stick it on the front because it is going to come off to do the brakes. Actually no, I won't. I'll put it on the back. I'll take the other back one off and put it on the back. That's cracking. There we go. So that's 2 done. And they look good. So I discovered that has to be lined up with that. That's how they go on. Also, one thing I've discovered, the one that I've put on the back here is the one that came off of the broken wheel, the dented, destroyed wheel. But some of the lugs on the back of it are a bit loose, so that really easily pulls off, so there's no way that that's going to stay on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some white cable ties and at least this one, put some cable ties. I'm not spending 50 quid on a new one, it's just stupid. It'll just have some white cable ties around it to hold it on, like you would normally do on a steel wheel. But yeah, I think I'm pleased with those. They come out really well. What I'm going to do tomorrow, some of the wheels I've got that I got from Grant at Salvage Flippers. Excuse the washing machine on, dryer on rather, tumble dryer. Over here I have got one of the steel wheels that he gave me, which has got I think it's that one, can't tell in this light, hang on, let me point the light, looking straight at it. Is it that one? Yeah, it's a bit bald down one edge, yeah, so that's a good wheel. Knackered tyre, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that wheel down and take the damaged wheel and get them to swap the tyre over, because it's a good tyre, and as far as I can see the tyre's not been damaged by the accident at all on the sidewall or anything. So I'm going to take it down and get him, it cost me a tenner to get them swapped over, and that way, assuming that's a Firestone tyre as well, assuming that they're all the same all the way around, which I think they are, yeah, Firestone, yeah. So whoever it is that had this car obviously didn't mess around with things like tyres. They've got good quality branded tyres all the way around, so it makes sense to, if that tyre's not damaged, it makes sense just to get it back on. So we'll go down, and there's a local tyre shop that I often get part worn tyres from for 30 quid. 14 inches are 25 quid, 15 inches are 30 quid, and they're virtually new. When I say part worn, they're almost as good as that. I use them quite a lot. So for 10 quid he'll swap it over, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. It's just starting to rain, I think, so I don't probably think I'm not going to do too much to this car today. Just trying to think what else I can do today. I could take the bumper off and start painting that, I suppose. I might do that, we'll see. Anyway, but that's it for the time being. We'll be back soon. So the laptop finally gave up the ghost. Stopped working, I got really annoyed with it, so I punched it. And then it didn't work at all. Well, it didn't work at all anyway, but it's been playing up for some time. And now if you press the, I had to do that for the screen to get anything to come up. As soon as the screen came up, it just faded away again. It was just completely knackered, so it's actually not doing anything now because it's been out in the rain. So I've loaded multi-ECU scan onto my new laptop. Unfortunately, it's well, I don't know whether it's working yet because I haven't tried it, but you always have trouble with the baud rates and latency speed and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping, being a newer laptop, it might auto set itself up to a degree, so we'll try that. But yeah, this one's dead, so this one's going in the bin. I'll take the hard drive out and destroy it, but apart from that, yeah, it's going in the bin. These are the last two. They've had 2 coats of top coat. I'm going to give them 1 more coat of top coat, and then we'll leave it for an hour maybe, and then put some lacquer on. But I'm really pleased with the way they've come up. So the last 2 are all done now. Nice and dry, nice and smooth, nice and white, no marks on them. So I'm gonna leave them overnight until I put the centers back in, because obviously I have to turn them over the other way as well, and I don't want to damage them. They're lovely and smooth. They come out really nice. That paint has really worked well. It almost looks like a professional finish. Almost. Really good, really pleased. So at the moment, as you've seen on time lapse, oh, catching stuff now, I don't want them to end up falling on the floor. I've started to do the bumper. So I rubbed it down, masked it off, rubbed it down, put a tiny little bit of surface filler in where the paint had come off, just because it was lower, and even though I feathered the edges, when I primed it you could still see it. So I've just put some surface filler in, finishing filler, sanded that. You can still see it a tiny bit, but not too bad. It's had 2 coats on it now. Obviously it's not shined up and it's still wet at the moment, but colour match doesn't look too bad at the moment. As I say, I said in a previous video, I use this Paints for You paint. I have more success in colour matching using this. You can get it on eBay. It's not the most expensive by any stretch of the imagination, but I think I bought it once because it was one of the cheapest ones when I was using the 268A white, and it seems to be the best one. Much better than any of the others I've had, so I recommend that. I think it was £14 a tin delivered. You can't go wrong with that. So that's had 2 coats. I'm gonna let it dry for another 10 minutes or so, then I'm going to give it a final coat. Hopefully that'll be enough, and then we'll get some lacquer on it. Right, I'm just giving it the last coat of clear coat. I think once it's dried up, it's obviously still wet at the moment. I think when it's dried and it's cut back, polished, etc, I reckon it will be okay. I think it might be a fairly decent match. I've got a little bit of a line there because I had a bit of brown paper across it, so I'll have to blend that in. But that's only the clear coat. That's not the colour. I didn't put the colour up that far. So I hope it don't look a million miles away, and I think once that's cut back, polished and so on, a bit of luck, it'll be okay. But we'll see. Now, next thing I'm going to do while that's drying, so I can just put it back on the car loosely, is I'm going to clean this engine bay. As you can see, it's quite dirty. Often when you get cars from Copart, I don't know whether they purposely park them in a desert somewhere and then help put the bonnets up, or what they do, but they're always covered in this dust. Always, almost every single time they're covered in this dust. Very strange. Looks like the car's on the original battery, but it starts okay, so we're not going to worry about the battery. I suppose it has only done 20,000 miles, but then of course it's what, a 2013 car, so 7-year-old battery, you would think it would be giving up the ghost. Unless, of course, no expense was spared like they haven't on the tyres, and they've put an OEM battery in it. Who knows? Maybe they did. Be nice. So it's a shame we don't know who the previous owner is. It would be nice to find out. Not just the service history, but just the history of the car in general. It's obviously been looked after. But anyway, we are going to give that a clean up, and hopefully it will be sparkling, and I'll show it to you afterwards. Look at that. Literally 5 minutes with the elbow grease and a cloth and my little magic brush. Where is it? There it is, my little magic brush, an elbow grease, and then a cloth, and it looks like it's just come out of the factory. Well, almost. That battery doesn't look like a 7-year-old battery anymore. It was dirt on it. It may still be a 7-year-old battery, but it don't look like one anymore. It's yeah, I'm pleased with that. Who needs a jet wash and chance buggering up your engine computer and so on? That one. If you get water in that, I've seen people jet wash these cars on YouTube and then wonder why they can't start it. Yeah, keep the water away from that. If you are going to jet wash your car, cover that up with a plastic bag. And the plugs and what have you as well is not a good place to put direct water, or a fuse box for that matter either. But using that stuff and just wiping it just gets it all off. It's great stuff. Yeah, highly recommend that. Well, I recommend it all the time, don't I? As you know, I buy bottles and bottles of it at a time in the pound shop, and I should be going into town in the next couple of days, so I should be buying some more. Great stuff, nice and clean. Another job done. So I think that's probably dried enough now. I don't want to touch it, but I'm going to leave it another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm just going to pick it up and put it on the car. I'm not going to try and shine it today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll get the old cutting compound out. Let me show you the cutting compound actually. I'm not talking about the G3 and the G10. Again, I mention him a lot. Grant at Salvage Flippers recommended these to me. I've found the medium cut to be really good for what I've just done. Obviously the heavier the cutting, if you look at the heavy cut, what does it say on there? I can't read it in this light. Swiftly eliminates small scratches and sanding marks. So I guess if you're sanding down some rough paintwork or new paintwork, you've got swells in it, that's the one to use. But I find this one ensures better handling on dry old coatings, guarantees a perfect high gloss. As I say, I've used that on new paint, and it seems to do the job. And then finish it off with this one, ensures the ultimate deep gloss show car finish. They're not cheap, but they're proper products, and if a professional like Grant uses them, then you know they're decent stuff. It's not consumer. They're not consumer products. Obviously they're to be used with a DA polisher, which is up there. So yeah, they're good stuff. So I've got the bumper back on. Let's have a look. Bear in mind I haven't cut it back, haven't polished it, anything like that. And I know we can't compare it to the wing because the wing's white, but I mean, looking through the camera and looking at that in real life, I cannot see the join. Maybe it's the light. I can just about see that little line there, but that is only a very, very light one dusting of it was just where I was sort of trying to blend it in, but I forgot I had that bit of brown paper over it. So that is really good. I'm really, really pleased with that. The colour matches well. Obviously it's not shiny at the moment, apart from the sort of natural luster of the clear coat. But once I get the old cutting compound on that, and which I'll do tomorrow, and get that cut back, that'll be brilliant. So all I need to do now is get this bloody wing ordered. So this, I haven't looked today, but I look every day, at least twice a day, and there's no wings in this colour. So I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just buy one. that's painted to code. So if they can paint it to code and make as good a job of it as I have, then even if I do say so myself, colour match wise anyway, obviously my spraying skills are not as good, especially with the rattle can, but you know, it's okay for a bumper. I wouldn't want to do a wing with a rattle can. I'm sure my finish is not up to scratch, but you know, if the professionals can do it, and if that paint matches as well as it seems to, then I can't see why a paint to code wouldn't match. These pastel colours are notoriously difficult. The light green, as we know from a previous car, is quite difficult. The light blue is also relatively difficult. However, I've had varying success with those. I've done 4 of those, and I've had varying success. Some are good, some aren't so good. But maybe this one isn't. Going by that, maybe this one isn't such a bad car to match. So I think we're going to have to take a chance. I think it's £119 delivered, and it says 3-day turnaround. So, I mean, you know, even if I get a wing, second-hand wing in colour, which may or may not have a tiny little bit of damage, it's going to be not that much less than that, really, when you think about it. All right, I might probably get one for 70 or 80 quid, but for another 40 quid I can get a brand new one. Let's just hope it matches. So I think we're done for today now. Yeah, pleased with that, really pleased with that bumper so far. I've got a light to put in, which has been repaired. I'm not even sure if it's the right side, to be honest, but I've got one here, which, as you can see, it's been hot welded and hot stapled, plastic welded and hot stapled, and it's still got the staples sticking out of it. It works really well using this stuff. I usually do these all the time. As long as you've got all 3 lugs, you can do it. So yeah, I'll make sure that's the right one. I have got another one anyway, so I've got both sides of a pair that I repaired some time ago. So there's still a little few bits to touch in with the paint on the car, but apart from that, it's pretty much done now. Look at externally, of course. I've still got to clean the seats. What else have I got to do? Got to get it MOT'd. Got to clean the seats, clean it all inside, touch up a few bits and pieces. I've got those bits on the wings that not on the wings. On the seals, we'll just need to pull it out where they've just gone in slightly. Need to pull those out with a slide hammer. That'll take 2 minutes, so that's no biggie. Nice and clean under the bonnet now. So sometime this week we'll get the seats cleaned and the dash and all that cleaned up nicely. Hopefully I'll get the wing this week and I can get that on, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that it matches. So that's it for another video on Project Beige Girl. Beige Girl is almost coming to fruition now, thankfully, and we will see you in a few days. So don't forget, you know what I'm going to put there? Hit that subscribe button, and over here hit that notification bell to be notified when we get new videos uploaded. And as I always say, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again in a couple of days or so. Take care, stay safe.